Well, good afternoon, folks. Mr. Zen1010 from Hollandale Beach, Florida. A real quick reminder of who I am, what I've done, what I'm going to do. You need to know I was an ex-airline pilot, flew with a number of major airlines, been flying since I was 16 years old. I'm a professional drummer, been playing the drums since I was about 14 years old. Ham radio operator, Alpha Zero Golf Tango, hold an amateur extra class ham license, had it since I was about 14 years old. I taught myself to play the drums, by the way. Then I decided to become a tennis professional. I had visions of making lots of money on the tour, but I started too late. However, I'm 62 right now, and I've been teaching for 30 years. I taught myself to play tennis against the wall and was certified with the USPTA and the USPTR, and built an indoor 6 courts indoors in the Northland Racket Club in Kansas City, Missouri, back in the 90s. I was a self-study kind of a guy, and studied and took the Series 7 exam and became a stockbroker. Wasn't very successful at that, was actually, and to be truthful with you, did not like that kind of work. Went back to flying airplanes again. At one point, because of hypochondria, at the age of 5, I started reading my grandmother's books on that I found tucked away in one of her closets about human diseases, and I took on at age 5 through 7 or 8 every disease known to man, and I started worrying about my mortality at age 6 or 7. My father was a professional baseball player. Let me clarify just a little bit. The poor guy died when I was 3 years old with Bright's disease. He had signed with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Bright's disease killed him. He was a wonderful man, and so was my stepfather, Mr. William Hawkins, who passed away last year. But my real father was a great athlete, had a wonderful backdoor slider. He had just signed with the Cards and got sick in the summer there, and passed away before he had time to exercise his abilities as a pitcher in the professional, in the big leagues. I taught myself to play tennis, as I said, against the wall. I practiced till my hands had blisters and my feet had blisters, and I used to have to tape my tennis shoes up with masking tape because I didn't have the money to buy new tennis shoes. I practiced so much that I wore holes, and my toes would bleed. Mr. Dee Dunaway, who's a friend of mine on Facebook, used to be a great tennis player, and we used to play together, and then we got separated there, and time separated us for about 30 years, and during that time I became a much better player and a teacher and studied the game very hard, and I met a lot of people in tennis and that sort of thing. And I did, like I said, I built the indoor tennis club over in Kansas City. Was a stockbroker, didn't like that, taught myself to play the drums. I've been into amateur radio for a number of years. I've studied medicine at the University of Miami, pre-med, got accepted into med school, did pretty good on the medical college admissions test, but decided that I would go ahead and do the airline deal, and I became an airline pilot. Went to Burnside Odd Aviation Training Center, and while I was at about age 18, I was working part-time while I was in school, and I came across a book called called Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and it was a wonderful book, a life-changing book, because I was studying psychology at the same time, and I got into Gestalt therapy with Fritz Perls and those people out at Esalen Institute in California. And I loved psychology, and But as I progressed and got all of my flying ratings and everything, I decided that I would drop out of med school. It was just going to be a lot of study, but however, I did love it, and then I would go on later, and I have gone on and became a pharmacy technician as well as a medical assistant. In my spare time, I got a couple of those degrees. But at any rate, I came across Maxwell, Maltz, and Psycho Cybernetics. It's a must-read for anyone who has anxiety, which I did and still do. But it was the greatest book I've ever read in self-help and in those areas of psychology. I only bring that up because I said all of this to try to get these billionaires that Forbes brought up last month or so, the 400 billionaires, because I was going to beg them for some money. My significant other has pretty much lost everything during our last big economic downturn. And I've been trying to figure a way to come up with a large sum of money to help her. She's really helped me during my lifetime, and I want to help her, and I want to do things. And this tape is not about a charity to get to do anything of that nature, but I just tell you all this because I was reading up, as I always do. I was thinking about how to cyber beg, how to maybe blow smoke up some people's butts and get some money from a billionaire. Now, I've known some billionaires in my time and probably burnt too many bridges and can't go back and ask them, hey, let me hold $1 million, and I need to really do some important work in my life, and I can't do that, and I don't have those kind of contacts right now. And I'm trying to bridge myself with someone through some kind of pathway from here and here to there and get some money. I can't win the lottery. I'm not going to win the U.S. Open or Wimbledon, and I'm not going to teach enough people. But I do need $500,000 to $1 million, and I would work for it. But I don't quite know. I probably still may come up with the right idea. But Maxwell, Maltz, and Psycho Cybernetics came up today. It's a great book, and I haven't thought about it too much until this past week when I was reading up on on cyber begging. And then the word Psycho Cybernetics came into my mind, and I said, I wonder if Maxwell Maltz died, and I wonder if that book is continued to be affecting people's lives. And I looked it up on the internet, and lo and behold, there was Psycho Cybernetics, a wonderful book, a must-read. If you want to change your life, and everybody must have some areas that they want to change. If you're like me, life is full of times to change. We don't know how to change here in America. We use our minds in a totally screwed up kind of a way. We don't know how to change our minds. We don't realize that we control the thoughts that we have. And if we do have thoughts that pop into our heads, we control how long they'll stay in there. I'll tell you what we do here in America, folks. We're all movie makers, aren't we? We make little tapes and we play them in our minds over and over and over again. We talk like we're very religious, but we're not religious. Why are we going to pray if we're going to worry? Why worry if you pray? We've heard all these little sayings, but us here in America, we use words like they are real, like they are the thing that they represent. We get it all confused, don't we? We try to tell our eyes to see and our mouths to move and our nose to smell and our hands to feel, but we can't do it, can we? No, we can't do it. We tell our feet to move. We talk to ourselves when we make a bad shot. Move your feet, you asshole. You know, you can't tell your feet to move and your tongue to lash and all those kind of things. It can't be done. Well, anyway, we've not known how to change our minds and change the way that things are happening in our lives. And so Maxwell Maltz, he changed that for us. He gave us some ways to do it, and it lies in his book, Psycho Cybernetics. If you want to learn how to get a thought out of your mind and put the correct thoughts there so that you can draw good things to yourself, read the book. But we people here in America, we keep playing those movies that we love to make over and over and over again. We play the same things. We all have this kind of pattern of thinking that's very, very negative, and it continually does us harm. But anyway, I said all that to say this. Send me a million, somebody. I gotta help this lady that helped me so much. I can't get it any other way. I'm a pretty smart guy, and you know, I'm gonna make a movie or write a book or do something for a lot of money, but time's running out. I'm 62, and I really want to do something good for someone that means a lot to me, and I really, really honestly want to do some good for some people, and I know exactly what I want to do, and I you know, this internet thing and this the Facebook and all of the things that we have going for us, we ought to be able to click, me and someone, if it's Steven Spielberg or whoever, or put me on television, let me become the next American Idol over 50 guy. But look, let's get, if nothing else, I want you to read Michael Maltz and Psycho Cybernetics. What a wonderful book. And I only say that because it will help you, and it will be the greatest book you've read and make the biggest difference in your life than you can imagine. Anyway, help if you can. If you can't, that's the way it is in life. We'll get over it somehow. By the way, haven't heard much on the anymore of the people getting eaten around Florida here, but hopefully, just hopefully, they won't eat any more people down here. Maybe the bath salts have kind of been, they've salted enough pork down here that you don't have to worry about it. Zen 1010, the world famous Zen 1010. I'll see you later. I'm going to go out and see if I can't find some dead spiders and put them up on somebody's food that I can see out here. I'll see you later. Have a great day in South Florida. Zen 1010 saying good afternoon and goodbye, folks.